Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu rasulullah, wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and final messenger, Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As to what follows, family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. So before we begin, I ask you to please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Hit me up on Patreon. And we also have the members. And as you know, I've been actually working on getting some material for the members and Patreons for the last week or so. And inshallah, that's coming within the next couple of weeks. I want to say around September time, inshallah. Right? So become a member, become a Patreon. We'll have some exclusive material, inshallah. And as you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. Hit the thumbs up if you can hear me. We got a really important topic today, inshallah. Now, I know that a lot of the brothers and sisters have been really going crazy about Afghanistan and the events that's happening in Afghanistan. And as you know, like, I don't rush into topics or politics. I like to get my information first before I comment on that. And it's not something that I want. This is not a particular topic I want to tackle live. I would much rather get like in depth on that topic. So I will be talking about Afghanistan, inshallah, right? But after I've gathered, correct, the correct information, correct research, because you're talking about the lives of people. And again, that's not my way. My way is not just to jump in and just put my 2 cents in on everything and every single thing without having any knowledge or research behind it, right? That's not something that I do. It's not from my habits, right? So, but for now, what I will be doing is talking about this particular, I guess you could say she's an entertainer. Her name is Lizzo, right? And she's been like popping up on all my feeds everywhere about she's crying and stuff, right? So eventually I ended up watching it. I was like, what's wrong with the thing? I'm not in my mind, I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this lady? Right? So without further ado, let's get right into the topic. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon, become a member, and let's do this. Okay, so brothers and sisters, in times of warfare, anything can be used against your enemies in warfare. Now, the enemy, our enemy, has been at war with us for the better part of 500 years without even declaring war. And they've never declared war on anybody that they've ever attacked ever. They just march in with weapons and diseases and whatnot, and basically destroy entire villages and populations all over the earth, right? Whether in Africa or here in North America with the indigenous populations or whatever they do. They just waltz in, right? Kill people, remove them from their land, and use all types and manners of psychological warfare against those populations. And one of the tactics that they used against the indigenous Indians here in North America was actually slaughtering buffalo. That's the bison, right? They would slaughter mass amounts of bison in order to starve the native indigenous populations to death, So they actually weaponized food. And food is being weaponized today against the Black population, but in the opposite manners. And the way that the enemy is using food, they're using it in such a manner that you now enjoy your own destruction by eating certain foods which basically, cause you to die a slow, painful death. Are y'all hearing me? So I want to read this ayah from the Quran where Allah, He says, فَكُولُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. Right? So Allah says, sorry, فَكُولُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. And the meaning of this ayah is that Allah, He's saying, so eat of the lawful and good food which Allah has provided for you. Okay, eat from the lawful and good food from which Allah has provided for you. Now, Allah, He could have said, eat from the lawful food, but He specified in the Quran, He said halalan tayyiba, right? Halalan, which means lawful, and tayyiba, which means good. Tayyiba, it's like good, you understand? So for me, when I think about, excuse me, why didn't, and again, this is my interpretation. Okay, so don't run around and what I mean, say like oh, this is from the Allah. No, this is the way I'm thinking about this ayah, right? Because Allah, He said halal, which means lawful, permissible, tayyiban, and good, right? So if you have halal good food, then that must also insinuate in my mind that there is halal bad food. Are y'all hearing me? There is halal bad food. And just because something is halal doesn't mean that you should be doing it or eating it or things of that nature. What do you mean, Bilal? What are you trying to say? Right? Why Allah? It would be enough for Allah to say eat the halal food, but He specified tayyib, which means good, right? So that means there must be bad food, and that also means that just because something is halal does not mean that you should be doing it or eating it all the time. For example, donuts. Donuts are halal, correct? I think you would all agree that donuts are halal. But let's say, for example, since donuts are halal, would you feed yourself, your children, your wife, your family donuts, lunch, dinner, breakfast, every day, 3 times? Would you actually do this? And I believe that most of you are the intelligent ones from amongst you will say, no, you would not do that. And why is that? It's because even though it's halal, it's bad food. Are y'all getting me? Are you understanding what I'm saying? We all understand that yes, donuts are halal, yes, but it's bad food. And if you eat donuts 3 times a day, then what will end up happening is that you will end up getting certain health problems. You will get, for example, cavities or diabetes or whatever. You understand? These type of things. So just because something is halal, it does not mean that you should be doing it. It doesn't not mean that you should do it at all, let alone all the time. Are y'all hearing me? You understand what I'm saying here? Right? Cake is a once in a while food. Donuts are once in a while foods. However, there are certain people that make cake and donuts and hamburgers and pizza, and they make it lifestyle foods. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Now, the Prophet ﷺ, did you know that he himself predicted that fatness will appear amongst the people from his blessed mouth? He predicted this. And I quote this hadith all the time. It's a very famous hadith, right? Which basically says, خَيْرَ النَّاسِ قَرْنِي ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَعْلُونَهُمْ ثم الذين يعلونهم, right? I think a lot of people know this hadith, right? Where the Prophet ﷺ, he said, the best of the people are my generation, then those who follow them, then those who follow them, right? We all understand. So the best three generations are basically the best generations that have ever existed in the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then he said after that, yati, and then there will come min what is it? Min ya'dikum ya'dihum, I think min ya'dihum قوم يتسمنون, okay? Then there will come after him, then there will come after them قوم, a people, يتسمنون, who will be fat, okay? They will be obese. This is the Prophet saying this. Are y'all hearing me? This hadith is in Tirmidhi. It is also in Sahih Bukhari. If for those who want to see it, you can look it up if you like. The Prophet himself predicted after the three generations, there will appear a people in which fatness will be amongst them, obesity will be amongst them. Are y'all hearing me? And the ulama, many ulama have explained that this fatness is one of the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah, or the last days. Are y'all hearing me? So the Prophet ﷺ, he's predicting fatness, okay? Fatness appearing amongst the people. Bukhari and Tirmidhi, and maybe others, Allahu Alam, I don't know. Right? So now, the Prophet ﷺ, he said in hadith, I believe Ibn Majah, where and others, Ibn Majah, I want to say Tirmidhi, I've seen this hadith in Riyadh al-Salihin, where the Prophet ﷺ, he said, the food of one person is sufficient for two, and the food for two is sufficient for four, and the food for four is sufficient for 8. You understand? The food of one person is sufficient for 2, and the food for 2 people is sufficient for 4, and the food for 4 is sufficient for 8. So this is the Prophet ﷺ expressing the manners of how to eat and how to share food, right? In our time, what we find is the opposites going around, where people have got into the habits of overeating. They eat. One person will eat the portion of 2 people very easily. And we know this is happening in our families and whatnot. And this is something that opposes the Sunnah directly. Are y'all hearing me? I'm not saying it's haram, but like I said, everything that is halal does not mean that you should be doing it. You understand? Everything that is halal does not mean that you should be doing it. So overeating is definitely something you shouldn't be doing. And overeating is something that the Prophet ﷺ is from the signs of the disbelievers. Where the Prophet ﷺ, he said that the believers eat with 1 intestine and the disbelievers eat with 7. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon, become a member on my YouTube. Okay? So, the Prophet ﷺ, he also said that no man fills a container worse than the stomach. Okay? No man fills a container worse than the stomach. A few morsels that keep his back upright are sufficient for him. If he has to, then he should keep 1/3 food, 1/3 drink, and 1/3 air. You understand? 1/3 food, 1/3 drink, and 1/3 air. This is what the Prophet he said. This is in Tirmidhi, and Riyadh al-Salihin. I've seen it in Riyadh al-Salihin as well. Okay, right? But it's authentic hadith, and I think most of us know this, right? So this is the Prophet advising us on how to eat food. So what we understand is that filling the stomach is the worst vessel to fill, the worst. We also understand that filling the stomach is from the signs of the disbelievers, that they eat with 7 intestines and the believers eat with 1 intestine. We also understand that fatness, as the Prophet ﷺ predicted, will appear, right? And as the ulama have explained, that this is from the signs of the Day of Judgment, right? So, Bilal, where are you going with this? Okay, I'm coming, right? Just relax, right? Now, I want to show you guys something from the Minority Health and Human Services of, I think this is the United States. All right, so just let me share the screen here. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Like, subscribe, share. So let me share the screen. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, you won't be able to see it. So I'll just read it on Facebook. But for those of you on YouTube, you should be seeing it, right? So heart disease in African Americans, okay? In 2018, African Americans were 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites. I repeat, 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites. Although African American adults are 40% more likely to have high blood pressure, they are less likely than non-Hispanic whites to have their blood pressure, get this, under control. Y'all play too much. So we understand, right, that statistics say, okay, that Black people are more likely to die than non-Hispanic whites, 30% more, and 40% less likely to have their heart disease under control. Okay? African American women are 60% more likely. Are you listening? This is for the sisters now. For the women, 60% more likely to have a high blood pressure as compared to non-Hispanic white women. Are y'all hearing me? So we have Allah saying, eat from the halal good food. We have the Prophet ﷺ saying not to fill your stomachs. 1/3 food, 1/3 water, 1/3 air. We have the Prophet ﷺ saying that fatness is from the signs that are, that are from the signs of the Day of Judgment. Okay? The appearance of fatness. We also have the U.S. government telling Black people that you are more likely to die of heart disease than your white counterparts. As a matter of fact, than anybody else. Black people. Okay? This is an article, Ethnicity and Health in American Series, Obesity in the African American Community. Okay? I was going to read this whole article, but just for time's sake, I'm going to get to the main points. Among African American adults, nearly 48% are clinically obese, including 37% of men and 56.6% of women, compared to 32.6% of whites, including 32.4% of men and 32.8% of women. Are y'all hearing me? That is like almost a 15% gap between the amount of obese Black people as compared to the white counterparts. Are you understanding me? This is not a joke. It's a very serious matter. It's a very serious matter. Black people are killing themselves because of food. Remember, I keep telling you, food is warfare. Everything is warfare when you're at war. You understand? This over here is from the CDC. There's a bunch. For those of you who are seeing on YouTube, you can look at all these articles the CDC puts out, health of Black or African American non-Hispanic population. They themselves done the research for you. They tell you about your fatness and how destructive it is in the Black community, right? So I urge you all to read those articles. Okay, this over here is from status.com, right? These are the number one causes of deaths in the Black community as of 2018 in the U.S. Number one, diseases of the heart, 23.5. The number one killer of adults in the U.S. is diseases of the heart. You understand? Number 4, stroke. Number 5, diabetes. Number 6, respiratory disease. So all of these, if you include cancers, even cancers kind of, you can say, right? Number 2 is cancers, and number 3 are accidents, right? But at least 3 out of the top 5 reasons that Black people die in the States is related to obesity, fatness. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. Where are we here? All right. So here, what is this? Not this one. Here is Heavy D, okay? This is Heavy D, okay? Heavy D was a rapper back in the day, in the 80s, right? His name, Heavy D, right? What did he die of? He died on November 8, 2011, collapsed outside his home and was taken to Mount. His death was initially thought to be connected to pneumonia. Autopsy reported, stated cause of death, pulmonary embolism, heart attack. Okay? He was obese. This is Big Pun, another big rapper, early 90s. He's a big guy, right? As you can see, fat guy. Right? Problems and death. Okay? What does it say here? He suffered a heart attack and respiratory failure and was taken to a hospital. He died at the age of 28. He died of the age of 28. Big Pun. Okay? Of a heart attack. Patrice O'Neal. Very famous, comedian. Very funny guy, right? Don't listen to him in front of your kids, though, right? How did he die? O'Neal died from complications of his stroke. Patrice O'Neal died of a stroke. He also was overweight recently. We all know Bismarck, he died recently. I think we all know that he died of a heart attack. Anyways, we don't have to go into that, right? But anyways, for those of you guys who don't know these, for those of you guys who don't know these people in the Black community, these are kind of icons, right? Black people know these guys, right? Especially if you grew up in the 90s, 2000s, and whatnot, right? These people were icons. They were no joke. So Black people dying of heart disease and heart-related disease is not a joke. This is Nell Carter, because those of you think it's just men. No, Nell Carter, a woman. She was a very famous star in the 80s, right? She was a big girl, right? Her death, using blood tests, x-rays, and cursory physicians examined the last standards course, ruled Carter's death was likely a result of probable arteriosclerotic heart disease with diabetes. So this is something that is plaguing the Black community. It's not a joke. It's a very serious thing. In comes in this new movement, okay? This body positivity movement, spearheaded by Lizzo. That's the whole point. That's why I'm getting to all this now, right? Who is the one spearheading this body positivity movement? It's Lizzo, correct? After seeing all the facts of the case, whether it's Islamically, okay, whether it is from the government stats or your general health, family, let me ask you, is this body positivity movement good for Black society? Yes or no? Just please, somebody put it in the comments, put it in the chat. Is, after seeing all the facts of the case, Black people at least 15% more likely to die of obesity-related diseases than their white counterparts? So many people, including my own, including my own father. Are you hearing me? My father died of a heart attack. All right? Rahimahullah. My father used to eat, drink, and smoke. Are you understanding me? He would overeat all the time. Are you understanding me? So after seeing all the facts, is the body positivity movement good for Black society, or any society for that matter? Yes or no? I see no. Now let's watch what Lizzo is crying about, and then we're gonna talk about this a little bit. All right? Like, subscribe, share. Hit me up on Patreon.
Shooting music videos and promo and photo shoots, putting so much loving energy into the world. And bro, sometimes I feel like the world just don't love me back. It's like it doesn't matter how much positive energy you put into the world, you're still gonna have people who have something mean to say about you. And for the most part, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't care.
Let's speed this up.
I just think when I'm working this hard, my tolerance gets lower. My patience is lower. I'm more sensitive, and it gets to me. There's so many people who love rumors, and I'm so happy. I really am. because we worked hard, and I know that this hard work is paid off. Cardi B worked her fucking ass on.
Sorry for the language, people.
Atlantic worked their asses off. My team Lizzo, we went hard. I'm grateful. I just feel like I'm seeing negativity directed towards me in the most weirdest way. Like, people saying shit about me that just doesn't even make sense. It's fatphobic. And it's racist and it's hurtful.
Okay. Let me just jump in here for a second, okay? Lizzo, there's no such thing as fatphobia, okay? Listen, nobody wants you because you're fat. And you can change that, Lizzo. And the message that you should be sending to young Black girls who look up to you is lose weight, not stay fat, not feel sorry for you because you're fat. You understand? Lizzo, we got a problem in the Black community with fatness. What message are you saying? It's nobody's fault that you're allergic to salad, Lizzo. Your tears ain't going to make any man run after you. But if you start running on a treadmill, maybe. You know what I'm saying? You are sending the completely wrong message. It's totally wrong. Especially with all the money and the wealth and success that you've achieved. You should be inspiring young Black girls who are struggling with obesity to try to lose weight. Not crying. Let me show you something. This is Queen Latifah. She's a big girl, right? Has anybody ever seen Queen Latifah ever cry on TV or social media or anything like that? Talking about people don't like her because she's fat? Has anybody ever seen that? Has anybody ever seen Jill Scott ever cry on TV, or social media, whatever, talking about nobody likes her because she's fat? Why Lizzo got to be the one? I'll tell you why. In my opinion, this body positivity movement serves the same purpose as the alphabet soup regarding Black people. In my humble opinion, this is a eugenics program and has all the telltale signs of a mass propaganda movement to encourage destructive behaviors as normal and natural. You're talking about people, okay? Lizzo shouting out Cardi B and WAP. She shouted out Cardi B and WAP. You understand? Lizzo, why is it that all your counterparts in the entertainment industry have no talent? None of your counterparts have any talent in the industry, but you are actually talented. You are one of very few people that actually have something that resembles talent in the industry. Well, everybody else around you doesn't have any, but you just happen to be a 300-pounder. You know why, Lizzo? Because you're a tool. You're a tool to push destruction on the Black community. And those tears that she is crying right now on her social media, those are weapons of mass destruction. I'm going to prove it. Anyway, let's continue watching.
If you don't like my music, cool. If you don't like Rumors and Song, cool. But a lot of people don't like me because of the way I look. And I'm like, anyways, y'all, I'm just having one of those days where I don't have no time. I don't got no time to chill. I don't got time to see my family.
Now you see this, right? She ain't got no time to chill. She's not time to see her family. She's up on this, her social media, whatever platform it is, for a good almost 12 minutes. That 12 minutes could have been spent on a treadmill. That 12 minutes could have, you have all the money in the world to hire a personal trainer. She talking about how people don't like her because the way she looked. Lizzo, you came on camera looking like King Kong Bundy. How you have this struggle wig cap on. You have a struggle wig. Look at this thing. She came on camera like that, people. Then she turned around to say that nobody likes her because the way she looks. Look at this. You came on camera like that. You look like King. Let me show y'all. Let me show you. Even I set it up. 1 second. Let me show you guys. This is King Kong Bundy. This is Lizzo. Tell me she don't look like that with that struggle wig cap on. Somebody, please say stop the cap. Put stop the cap in the chat, please. Somebody, please put stop the cap in the chat, please. Look how you look. Where's your wig? Where's your weave? And then you have the nerve to say because nobody likes it because the way that you look. Lizzo. People who like you, they legit like you because you're talented. That's it. Because nobody is in love with a 300-pound WWE lookalike, King Kong Bundy lookalike, for the looks. This is reality. This is the facts. And this thing that you're pushing and forcing down the throats of Black people is totally backwards and destructive. Too many, we've already watched too many Black stars die because of that lifestyle that you want people to love you for. You have all the money in the world to buy a salad and a personal trainer, but nobody's stopping you from buying Popeye's chicken and pizza. 300-pound woman. And she's always forever chasing that. Who's that white guy? Who's Captain America, people? What's his name? Captain America. She's always chasing after him. What's that white guy's name? I think his name is Chris Evans or something like that. Okay? Now, mind you, I say, this is my opinion, this whole body positivity movement serves the same purpose as the LGBTs and the, you know what I'm saying? It's to me, it's eugenics. To me. Right? Because it just popped out of nowhere. Lizzo at the forefront. Now she weaponizing her tears against Black society. And I said, I'm going to prove watch. Watch the comments, y'all. Watch the comments. Look at this. Look at all the support for this. She's allowed to express her emotions to her community of people. Glad she was transparent enough to show her a different side of her, where she lives, and blah, 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 blah. She's beautiful inside and out. Looky here. If she was beautiful inside and out, she would have a man. She would have a man. This right here, it's a Trojan horse to make Black women feel it's okay to continue with unhealthy life choices. And it's not okay. We looked at the Quran, we looked at the Sunnah, we looked at the health stats in the States. We looked at everything. Nothing about this is okay. I don't understand why people just drop it. They're not talking to her of a concern. They're talking to her about make her feel bad and disgusting bully mentality. This is what they call it now. They have a name for it and everything. Fat shaming, bully mentality. She called it fatphobic. What the heck is a fatphobic? What is that? In Western society, obesity is not something that's desired. No amount of tears and stigmatization is going to change that. Even if you silence the people who are speaking against it, nature shows that people will not be chasing after people like Lizzo. And Lizzo crying on her camera is proof of that. Why are you feeling sorry for this? All the money in the world to get a personal trainer, that 12 minutes she could have spent on treadmill, y'all feel sorry for her? Feel sorry for the little girls who live in food deserts and don't have any good food choices. Feel sorry for those girls. Feel sorry for the Black people who get flooded with the most ridiculous toxic foods in their communities because they don't have any good food choices. Only in the Western world is a can of pop more expensive than a bottle of water. And these are the choices that many poor Black people have to choose between, thus causing them to have heart disease. And then you further exasperate the problem by telling them, oh, no, it's okay to be a 300-pounder. So they can die at the age of 30 or 28, like Big Pun, or 40 or 50 of heart attack and heart disease and strokes and diabetes. And you're telling these young girls that it's okay to be like this. As the only thing that's heartbreaking is going to be her heart broken when she has a heart attack. This entire movement is one of the craziest things I ever seen. Because Black people just kind of accepted it hook, line, and sinker without even questioning it. Just like the LGBTs. Actually, I can't say that because Black people have always historically resisted the LGBT movement and community. They've always historically resisted that. It was, what's his face? Barack Obama was the one that changed all that when he became president. And now there's almost like a civil war between Black people because of LGBTs and stuff. Anything that's destructive for Black people, they package it in a way with your stars and your entertainers for you to accept it. Thus a Lizzo, thus a Lil Nas X, thus a Cardi B. And you guys just accept it. You don't listen to health professionals. You don't listen to psychologists. You don't read books. These are the people you listen to. And then you wonder why the Black community is in such a shambles. So many of us are dropping like flies because of fat-related diseases. Anyways, I just want to leave you with that this behavior is not normal. It's not healthy at all. It should not ever be packaged or confused as healthy. fat people or obese people should be encouraged to lose weight. They should not be encouraged to think that it is okay, because it is not okay. Because either way, Lizzo crying on her Instagram, whatever it was, talking about fat phobia and stuff, all this nonsense. She can't get a man. Right? And mind you, she doesn't look at men like her. She doesn't look at 300-pound men. She look at people like that guy, the guy from who's Captain America. She look like dudes like that. I think his name is Chris Evans or whatever. She look at Drake. She look at these type of men, not no 300-pounders. Not no King Kong Bundys. Y'all hearing me? She look at those types. She want somebody who's in shape to look at her. But she out there crying. Look. Going to the gym, losing weight, eating healthy food, that's hard. Being a fat pizza eating, Kentucky Fried Chicken, slave food eating, collard green, whatever, eating person, that's hard too. You have to pick your hard. That's all it comes down to. You can be fat, out of shape, and unhealthy, and live a hard life, or you can eat healthy, work out to the gym, run a couple of laps, and live a hard life. Both of them are hard. You choose your hard. But don't confuse being overweight Black woman as something that is okay for your daughters, your sisters, your aunties, your nieces. It's not okay. This stuff is killing us. It should never be confused with something that is okay. Furthermore, it is a means to loneliness as Lizzo so rightfully demonstrated for the world. Okay? She's telling you she's lonely because she's overweight. And she has the resources to lose weight, but she refuses to lose weight. She wants people to think it's okay to be that way, and it's not. So I'll leave you with that. Subhanakallah bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Like, subscribe, share. Hit me up on Patreon. Jazakumullah khair. And we will see you next time, inshallah.